feel like a lot of people don't know this, but a lot of marriages are simply apologies. And even if they're not apologies, they're ultimatums. I only say that because a lot of women try to look down on other women that they feel should be married, or just try to brag on their relationship and marriage when the man only proposed because he got caught cheating. That is the number one reason why I don't envy a single person's relationship, or even life for that matter, because you never know what people are really going through in their real life. And of course, they're only going to post the good. I mean, it's social media, so the expression, like, you never know how many nights a woman is crying herself to sleep in that mansion or Bentley. So I say all that to say, stop envying and comparing your lives to people you see on social media. Like, trust me, you do not know the half. I can speak on this because this has happened to me more than once. Like, a whole ring just to try to get me back. So I know.
Do you think marriage is an achievement?
For me, it's not an achievement.
Why?
I don't think marriage is an achievement. I feel like it's something that should flow through you. If you really love somebody, it should work like clearly without any stress. For me, it's not like something that is material that requires you saying, okay, I achieved this degree, or, you know, I got this achievement. So it should flow. Like, if you love somebody, you want to be with them. So to me, marriage is not an achievement.
Yes, it is. If you have a good partner, yeah, it is.
Marriage is between two people here coming together to, decide that, okay, I can accept your bullshit, you can accept my bullshit. And if that doesn't happen for you, you shouldn't feel like you've not achieved anything. It's about you, your person, your personality. Just live your life, do what you want to do. If it happens to you, fine, good. Oh, I love it. I want to get married, yeah, don't get me wrong, yeah. If it happens to you, fine and good. But if it doesn't happen, or it hasn't happened to you yet, I would just say, live your life. Don't dwell on the fact that you've not gotten this thing or you've not achieved it. But when it comes to marriage, no, I wouldn't say it's an achievement.
Two is better than one, especially in a country like this where you are an immigrant and you want to make things done for yourself. So it's always better when you are two striving together than you being alone.
A lot of women think that marriage is not an achievement.
Yeah, it's not gonna be if you have a partner that doesn't have the same goals like you, because it's gonna be like a burden. Like, you'll be like you are in a prison. So, but
I do not see marriage as an achievement. I do not see getting engaged as an achievement for myself, and I won't be putting it on a list of things I want to achieve getting married. It's just not for me. Now, I feel like there is definitely this, and I say unspoken, yet it is spoken about, how some women will see themselves as more worthy or better than another woman because they are married versus being unmarried or single. And I just don't believe that narrative. Unfortunately, there are a lot of cultures that push this narrative that an unmarried woman is an unworthy woman or whatever. And listen, this is coming from someone that I love marriage. I think it's beautiful, and marriage is sacred. It should definitely be celebrated, and it is a milestone, but is it an achievement? Like, this can genuinely be a debate, because for me, it is not an achievement. The same way I don't see as gaining friends as an achievement or getting a boyfriend as an achievement. I see it as that's life. We come together. An achievement for me would be maintaining those friendships, maintaining that marriage after hardship, 5 years long, a long, healthy marriage. That's an achievement. The wedding itself is more of a celebration of a union of two people, not an achievement, to me anyway. Personally, for my list of achievements, I will not be putting marriage on there. I'll be celebrating marriage, and I'll definitely put the achievements of when we have made it through obstacles and I've been with my partner for 5 years, 10 years, 2 years, whatever it is. That's an achievement.
Guys, do you think marriage is an achievement? There are some people who think marriage is an achievement, and there are some people who think it's not an achievement. And I would like you to watch the full video, and then I would request you to share your thoughts about this in the comment section after watching the full video.
Getting married is not a flex. It is not a flex. And if you are someone who feels envious or jealous of a person getting married, or a group of friends that are engaged getting married, I promise you, it is not a flex. It's coming from someone who got married at 24 and used to think it was a flex. It is not a flex.
Being married to the wrong person is not a flex. And I'm sorry for anyone who married the wrong person and has been left feeling like marriage is not a flex. Now, please don't misunderstand. It's not the only flex in your life. And from listening to her talk, it sounds like it's more of when you make marriage your entire identity. Please don't make marriage your entire identity. You are a person before you got married. You are still an individual person after you get married. But being married to the right person is absolutely a flex. It's amazing to share a partnership. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand what this creator is saying. But again, is when you are married to the wrong person, or you got married for the wrong reasons, solely because you felt like, oh, the marriage, the wedding, the pictures, this is the flex. But when you have someone that's there with you day in, day out, doing life with you, you guys are growing and being together, like you are living life together. I got someone I can come home to vent to all of my frustrations. I have someone who's going to check me when I'm doing something that's not quite where it needs to be. He's going to lift me up when I need to be lifted up. He's there for me, and I'm there for him, vice versa. And before y'all get in these comments, yes, you can do it without being married. Don't misunderstand me. But I live all day long in my happy marriage. I'm happy in my marriage. And because I have happiness in my marriage, I flourish in other parts of my life. It's a flex if you do it right. It's not a flex if you're doing it wrong, when you're doing it for the wrong reasons, when you have the wrong partner. And that's going to be with anything. If you work a Fortune 500 company and you're CEO and you're miserable, no, it's not a flex. It's not a flex. But you over here working your 9-to-5 job where it's quote unquote low level, but you are just as happy as can be, and you making $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year, that's a flex. Because guess what? You're happy. You're enjoying it. I've worked a job where I made lots of money and I was miserable. Yes, my bank account was wonderful, but I was miserable. And now I have a job where I leave on time. I'm not staying over. I leave on time because I'm salary. I'm walking up out of there. Don't make as much as I used to, but I'm happy and I love it. And everyone around me can see that I love it. That's a flex. Doesn't matter that I took a pay cut. It's a flex because I'm doing something that I love. So if you're in a marriage or you're in a relationship that you love, that you're happy in, it's a flex all day long. Flex it.
You kind of touched on all the points that I was going to touch on. They leave me nothing. Just
sorry.
I found out that marriage is not an achievement.
It is not?
No. It is what comes out of marriage that is an achievement.
And by the way, marriage is not an achievement. It's not like a degree you studied for years or a promotion you worked so hard to get. It's not like a medal you hang around your neck and you be like, yes, I've made it. So if it's not an achievement, then it cannot be a goal. Marriage at its core is a celebration of love. And love isn't something you put on a checklist or in a vision board. It's not something you achieve. It's something you experience. And here is the truth most people avoid. The moment you treat marriage as an achievement, you automatically turn being single into failure. That's why so many people, mostly women, feel this invisible pressure to get married on time, as if life is a race and the wedding altar is a finishing line. But think about it. If marriage was truly an achievement, wouldn't it guarantee happiness, stability, or even love? Yet we know that that's not the case. Divorce rates, toxic relationships, and broken homes prove otherwise. So stop letting society pressure you into thinking you must be married by 25, 28, or 32. Life is not a race, and marriage is not a finishing line. Love is something you can deeply enjoy with yourself first. And if a loving partner comes along, very beautiful, but it should never define your worth. So maybe it's time you stop thinking, when will I get married, and start thinking, are you truly living? Or start asking, are you truly living? Because here's the truth. A wedding can happen in one day, but building a meaningful life takes a lifetime. And if your entire sense of worth depends on whether you get married, then maybe you're not just...
Let me tell you another reason why most women get triggered whenever a woman says, oh, I'm not really sure about marriage. It doesn't fascinate me and it's not an achievement. It's because some of these women got married because they are broke. Lady broke. You got married because you thought that marriage was an escape from poverty. You're broke and you're lazy. I need to add that. You're lazy. You're not willing to build anything for yourself. You're not willing to grow a business. You're not willing to just do anything and provide for yourself. So you would rather just get married to escape from poverty. Lady broke. That's why you want some man to take care of all your responsibilities. So when a woman says it's not an achievement, you start foaming from your mouth. Because your reason for getting married is because you're broke. You're broke and you're not even willing to make an effort. I said what I said. Come on, beat.
Marriage is not an achievement? Are you joking? So what is an achievement? Your little iPhone, I guess? Hi guys, my name is Julie Cassie and I'm a realist. Marriage will forever remain an achievement. Most people who say marriage is not an achievement are saying it from a place of pain or choice. Pain because they have a bad experience with marriage or their partners, And choice, because some people just don't want to do the work that comes with marriage, because definitely it's a whole lot of work. And I think it's high time people start understanding that people can decide not to get married and not be shamed for it, especially African parents. They need to understand that this generation is happy to grow into single wrinkled old bodies in the nearest future. But that's just by the way. Marriage will forever remain an achievement. Just because your heart got broken or your face heart got broken doesn't make it less of an achievement. I mean, you can decide to drop out of school. It doesn't make graduating from school less of an achievement for people who waited to graduate. There is always a good and bad. And I swear it, people who have a good marriage do not share the same perspective with you. And you cannot make decisions or judgments based off of emotion. Marriage
is not an achievement for ladies. I don't know. I don't know who needs to hear this. Marriage is not an achievement for ladies until they hit 35. I know this particular video, you're not going to like it. But let me just tell you guys simple truth. You cannot be sugarcoating the truth. I don't have any problem with you having a decision of your life that I don't want to do this. This thing is not my priority. This is not my priority. But stop trying to enforce that thing that you believe in because of all the mistakes, all your failed mistakes. Because I have realized that majority of feminists are people that failed when they were younger. They now grow old, like those people that turned feminine.
I think everyone is entitled to view marriage in their own way. So if some people say marriage is an achievement to them, I really support them, because at the end of the day, what is the definition of achievement? I think achievement is achieving something you really wanted in your life. So most people who say that marriage is an achievement, they're the people who really like marriage, and you realize these people all their lives they've really wanted to get married. So when these people get married, I think it's really an achievement to them because they really like to get married and they've been looking forward to this all the time in their lives. So it is really okay for them to say that marriage is an achievement to them. And I feel so bad when I find people are trying to attack women and men who are saying that marriage is an achievement, because they always tell them, like, how can you say marriage is an achievement? And they don't know where these people are coming from. You don't have to judge someone before you know where they're coming from, because in most cases, these people, they're saying that marriage is an achievement because they've been wanting to achieve this all their lives. That is why they call marriage an achievement, and they're really right. They are really right when they say marriage is an achievement to them. And I'm telling you, if you're outside there and you really think marriage is an achievement to you, don't let anyone make you think that that's not an achievement. It's sad to see some people making fun of other people who think marriage is an achievement, because I don't know why they do this, but in most cases, sometimes they always think marriage is not an achievement because many people in marriages are miserable. I don't know why they assume this all the time, because at the end of the day, you realize that not all married people are miserable in their marriages. And you have to understand that all the time, happiness is a choice, because even if you're not married, you might end up being miserable. So it's not that only married people are the ones who are miserable. Even people who are not married can be miserable. You don't have to judge other people's life situations before talking to them individually. So if you've had some people who are miserable in marriages, it doesn't mean that all people are miserable in their marriages. And you have to understand, like the way I've told you, like happiness is a choice. So any person who is miserable in their marriage, sometimes there are people who choose to just be miserable in life. Even if you get them out of the marriage, they'll still be miserable, because it's not about the marriage, it's about them. Because in most cases, being miserable in marriage, it's not about the marriage, it's about the people in the marriage. In most cases, when they're not happy with themselves, end up being miserable in marriages. And that's why sometimes they think it's marriage causing the misery, but when it's the people who are not happy with their lives. And also, married people should stop also thinking that people who are not married are miserable and sad. This also happens sometimes. You realize that people who are married can assume that people who are not married are lonely, they have not achieved anything in life because they think that everyone is supposed to be married. I think it's always a life choice. Sometimes there are people who genuinely don't want to get married, and so we also have to respect their choice all the time. We don't have to judge them because of their choice, because they have their good reasons as to why they want to stay single all the time in their lives without getting married. And let's stop assuming that everyone who is not married is miserable. Let's stop assuming that everyone who is not married has not achieved in life. You realize that sometimes their achievements are different because they think it's better for them to achieve in other aspects of life. And you realize that such people sometimes they concentrate so much on their career, and they concentrate so much on their personal improvement, and that is what they see as achievement in life. So I think marriage should also be an achievement to people who have children or to people who really want to have children, because sometimes you find people who are choosing to have children and they're really saying they don't want to get married. But I always ask myself a question, that how can someone want to take on a lifetime commitment of having children and yet they are scared of marriage? And in most cases, when you are a woman and you have a man who wants to have children with you and they don't want to get married, I think it's really a red flag, because how can someone fear the marriage commitment, yet they want to take on the lifetime commitment of having children? It doesn't really make sense, because this shows that someone cannot really be committed in different aspects of life, because parenthood is a lifetime commitment. So if someone cannot take on also marriage commitment, it means it's not easy for them to take on any other commitment in life. So I think it's very important for people who are choosing to have children to also consider marriage, because it helps the two partners to be committed to their family. Because in most cases, when people are not married, sometimes they fail to be so committed. That's why you find many people who are not married and they have children, they have higher chances of breaking up after giving birth to children, because there is no commitment. They're not committed to this relationship they are having, because what shows that people are committed to this relationship is marriage all the time. But it's hard to be committed if you didn't get married in most cases, because having children without getting married, it is a sign that you really, in most cases, don't want to be committed with each other. So I think that is why the chances of breaking up are higher, because there is no commitment. And yet when it comes to married people, even if they have a simple misunderstanding or a big misunderstanding, because there is that commitment they have for each other, there are higher chances that they'll work it out and find a solution so that they can stay together to raise their children and to have a good family. And that is why people think that some people in marriages are miserable, because they're always dealing with different problems that they choose to sort out instead of leaving, which is not a problem, because in most cases, even if you're not married, as a person, you always have problems and you always have to figure out how to sort them out. Same applies to married people. When problems come in, they figure out how to sort them out instead of leaving. I don't know why people choose the long-term life commitment of giving birth to children, yet they cannot also choose marriage. Because in most cases, if someone chooses to be committed to parenthood, which is not really easy, they can easily choose also to be committed to marriage. Meaning in most cases, people who don't want to be committed to marriage and they just want to be parents, there are higher chances that even when it comes to parenthood, they will not be committed enough to parenthood. That is why I say that a marriage is really an achievement when it comes to people who have children, because this helps to keep the family together in most cases. When people make that such a commitment, they always dedicate their lives to making sure they keep the family together because they made this commitment with each other. So even if they have major problems, they're not choosing to live there and then. They first try as much as possible to work it out. This is very good for children. It helps you to raise children under one roof, which is healthy for children in most cases. So with marriage, this really helps out your children a lot, and also you guys, it helps you out because when you work together as a team, in most cases you succeed more as a team when you have your children under one roof and you're working together. Some people think marriage is not an achievement if someone is married to a bad person. And because in most cases there are people who end up allowing to stay in relationships with bad people, and they end up suffering all their life in their marriage because they have a bad person with them all the time who doesn't treat them well. And so when people see this, some people will end up saying marriage is not an achievement. And to anyone who is married to a bad person and they're being mistreated, you can't call that an achievement. It is something that is hurting you. So anything that hurts you in life cannot be an achievement. In fact, it is really a loss to you in case you are dealing with that in your life. So that is why some people think that marriage is not an achievement if people are married to bad people. And to wrap it off, I think it's very okay for some people to think marriage is an achievement, and it's very okay for some people to think it's not an achievement. It is someone's choice. So we don't have to judge people because they think marriage is an achievement. We don't have to judge people who think marriage is not an achievement. Let's leave people to live their lives the way they want to. And that's it for today, guys. If you have anything to add on this topic, you can share your thoughts in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. It's been your girl, Joanne Complete. As always, I'd like to wish you a wonderful day. Take care of your beautiful lives. Until next time, I love you guys. Bye.